Okay, guys, for this picture right here, we actually don't need a lot of editing, but I just want to show you how a few simple adjustment layers can really help a picture out. So this picture right here, it's got three subjects, and you can tell that they were lit with strobes because they're out in the bright sun, and they've got nice highlight spots on their faces and then shadow spots. So the first thing I want to do is just make them pop a little bit more. They have quite a bit of contrast already, but I think we can just make them stand out from the background just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and add a curves layer. Okay, so let's go ahead and just grab these upper mid-tone highlight area and just pull that up just a tad. So you can see that's just barely a few clicks on that curve. And let's look before and after. So just making it a little bit brighter, really making that skin on the highlights pop a little bit more. And we can even just pull the blacks and shadows down just a tad back to where they were. Okay, so before and after, just a tiny bit more contrast. Really kind of separates, especially this guy from this guy. So the next thing I want to do is color balance layer. So let's go ahead and click on that. And what I want to do with this is really tone the shadows. So go ahead and click on your shadows drop down right here. And I want to push those towards cyan and blue. So let's go ahead and just do that a little bit. So about -15 on the cyans and then about +11 on the blues. So here's before and here's after. So it's really kind of giving it more of a cinematic color grade feel. And we can always come back and adjust this a little bit at the end if we feel like it's too much or not enough. So next, inside the same color balance menu, I want to go to the midtones, and I want to tone those towards red and yellow. So kind of the opposite of what we just did in the shadows, but maybe not quite as drastic. So let's go ahead and push this towards red a little bit, maybe +5, and then we'll back these midtones down towards yellow. Okay, I think that's looking a little bit better. So let's go ahead and turn that on and off and see what that looks like. Here's before, here's after. So I think that looks a little bit better, before and after. Okay, now we could also go in the highlights and try and tweak that, but I feel like it's probably gonna do too much on the clouds here and not really want to have to mask those out. But let's see. If we push those towards yellow a little bit and a little towards red, maybe not quite so much on the red side. So that's not too bad. I feel like that's a little bit better. It takes it looking like more of a straight out of camera color to more of a color graded shot. So we're almost done with this already. The only other thing I think I would do is add a hue saturation layer and just desaturate some of these colors. So let's go ahead and just pull down the overall saturation and just see what that looks like. So it starts to look better. We want to be careful to not go too far. So I'm thinking maybe something around like the -20, maybe even -15. And then I think I'm going to pull the yellows down a little bit more. And I'm pulling down yellows because of their skin tone. The skins are really yellow in this picture. So if we if we drag this all the way down, you can see it pretty much takes the majority of the color out of the face and skin. So let's not do that quite so much, but maybe pull it down like 15 points, something like that. So let's look at before and after of this adjustment layer too. So here's before, definitely a lot more saturated in the face and skin tones. And here's after, much better. So I think that's really all this picture needs. And I think if you light things pretty well and you get a pretty good shot straight out of camera, it can be just a simple couple-minute fix to really dial in your colors. So let's look real quick at what we did. So here's before and here's after. So before, after. So it's definitely a much more professional look, and it looks like we took a little bit of time and really dialed in those colors to look more like a movie scene or a promotion for a TV show or something like that. So just a quick recap, here's our background layer straight out of camera, and then we added a curves layer just to give it a little bit more contrast, and then we did a color balance layer to push those shadows more towards a blue teal, and the midtones and highlights more towards an orange yellow. And then we just did a hue saturation levels adjustment. Sorry, hue saturation layer adjustment, and we desaturated the master channel and the yellows to really get those skin tones the way we wanted. All right, so one more time, before and after. So pretty simple. Try applying this technique to some of your images, especially if you're using strobes, and let me know what you think of the technique and send me some of your shots. All right.